All right, everybody. Did you guys enjoy that? I don't know why, but the other day that got stuck in my head, and I figured, I'd torture all of you guys with it. Mason, long time no see, man. Jim, Mr. E, Zeno, Allergic, how you all doing today? How's everybody doing? Yeah, that was Knight Rider. That was Knight Rider. I did that for a couple of reasons. So I don't do reacts all that often anymore. Most honestly, I just haven't streamed very much on this channel to begin with. Just a lot of life stuff going on. The last week I worked like 77 hours. It's just been tiring. Just tiring. But it is what it is, right, guys? It is what it is. Got to work hard before you play hard, right? But no, and one of the reasons why I did the Knight Rider theme is whenever I do reacts as of late, I get hit with a ridiculous amount of copyright claims. Just doing the Star Citizen sitcom, I got hit with 2 or 3 copyright claims. The last time I did a react before that, which was like a month ago, I got hit with 11 copyright claims. So, I'll just lean into it, right? I'll just lean into it and get all the copyright claims. May as well, right? So yeah, it is. I just decided, you know what? Screw it. Who cares? I'll get copyright claimed. It doesn't affect the channel negatively. Basically, I just can't get revenue off of it. Not that I'm getting revenue off of this anyways. So who cares? I don't. Who cares? Maybe one day if I ever strike it huge, I'll care. But that day is not anywhere near here. It's not anywhere near here. So how's everybody's week been? Right? It's Friday. It's Friday. What are you nerds doing here? Why are you guys here on a Friday night? I'll give you a minute to answer that one. I mean, I'm here on a Friday night because there ain't nothing else to do. I mean, come on. Plus, I like you guys. You guys are great. Dude, the only reason why I keep coming back here and doing all of this stuff is because you guys are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And since we're, kind of talking about fantastic things and like, working and all of that, Elite's good fun. I need to get back to some Elite, but I honestly, I have not been playing very many video games lately. And when I do play, it's a quick in out type of game, something that I can just leave if I need to. So games like Elite and Dune and games like that where you just you got to get to a safe spot or land and do all kinds of extra stuff. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's good. No work. That's good. No work this weekend, Mr. E. That's good. So for those of you that don't know, that's true, Mason. For those of you that don't know, I've been working hard on this channel. Let me go to the other screen. Been working very, very hard at this channel, and it's small, obviously, but I do it because I enjoy it and I enjoy sharing nerd stuff. I get asked a lot why I don't do this on my main channel. And the reason why I don't do it on the main channel is because the algorithm, unfortunately, is set up for games like Star Citizen, and YouTube does not like it when I don't do Star Citizen. So unfortunately, my main channel will forever and always be linked to Star Citizen. So that's why. I'm sure there are Star Citizen guys that like, tabletop gaming and the lore behind it, but yeah, that's why I started another channel. And to be honest with you, I worked very hard on this video right here, and in my humble opinion, I think it's my best work yet. But there's always room for improvement. There's definitely always room for improvement. I'm not going to sit on my laurels. I'm not going to just be like, oh, well, this is the best one and that's the best it'll ever be. No, I'll keep working hard to make them better. Speaking of, before we move on to like reacts and stuff like that, I did reach out to a couple of artists to ask them if I could use some of their copyrighted material. I have not heard back from them. I'm sure they're busy. I'm currently lightly researching the next.
Stay a while and listen.
What's up, Diz? I'm currently researching the next video for this channel. But like I said, I have not heard back from those artists, and I may not be able to use their art. I'm going to go ahead and do the video anyways, but there'll probably be a lot of repeats of images and generic stand-ins because the subject in which I wish to cover does not have a lot of art for it, and the art that is out there is copyrighted by those artists, and I am not going to use their work without their permission. So that's just how it goes, right? That just, I'm not going to do that to somebody, right? That's how they make their living. I'm not going to do that to them. So if I got to pay a little bit, as long as it's not a lot, I'll acquire the license, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So anyways, I'm supposed to be doing a react. And sorry guys if I start yammering and rambling on and on and on. I'm very tired.
Truly, this is
Dungeon. What's up, man? Let me finish my thought. I'm very, very tired. I worked last night. I came home. hung around with the daughter and the tutor. You know, you got to make sure everything's taken care of. And then I went to sleep and I slept for about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours. So I'm very tired. And Dungeon, no, it's not the Karita video. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about, since I just for those of you that have watched it, I did on the other channel, I did General Alexander Kerensky, and from his humble beginnings to the Exodus, and I figured the Exodus would be a good segue to go back, you know, 300 years and kind of explain why battle mechs and not warships like you see in Star Wars and, you know, Battlestar Galactica and Babylon 5 and stuff like that. But yeah, she's doing good. She's doing good. Her upper back is hurting her. So when they put the 2 rods in and, you know, bolted it down, because of the way her spine was curved and whatnot, it was pushing her ribs and her shoulders out, or her shoulder out. So when they put the rods in, the right shoulder cocked up and her ribs kind of pushed out even further, but her ribs are going back and her shoulder's coming down, but the left shoulder's coming up a little bit. And you know, we talked to the doctor, and it's gonna be, you know, she's gonna be doing the shrug like this for a couple of years, but it'll even out, and the ribs will kind of go back into place where they should be, and she'll be fine. And she's doing good. She goes back to school Monday tentatively. We'll see what happens with that. I have FMLA, thank goodness. So if she can't be there, you know, she'll call me up, and I'll go and get her. So that's how that is. That's how that works. Thank you, Diz. I appreciate it, man. It's just nerdy lore stuff. I do plan on doing other stuff on the channel other than just BattleTech, but that primarily is just going to be BattleTech. So I figured to start off, we're going to do 2 Viva La Dirt leagues, because you can't be a reactor if you don't do Viva La Dirt. Like, you have to. It's like the rules. You have to do, you know, all of that. I did not get in on No Man's Sky. So for a while, I had access to No Man's Sky through a Steam family share program. But the person that was running the family share program apparently is one of those kind of people that, because somebody won an election, everybody in America is a bad person. So if you were American, you don't have access to that anymore. So I don't have access to No Man's Sky right now. And unfortunately, with bills and other things, and I have to have some oral surgery going on here in a couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of weeks. I just don't have money for video games at the moment. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. You just play the hand that's dealt to you. But anyways, so we're going to do Viva La Dirt, because, you know, it's like rules and stuff, like I said. I heard that, Jim, and I've been very interested to go back and check it out, because obviously the last time I played, that was not available. And I had started building up a little bit of a fleet by, you know, going out and making them surrender and whatnot. So, you know, I don't know. I'd like to come back to it. I wasn't super keen on like doing the base building and the exploring all the time. So it was kind of a nice, you know, change of pace to go take over other people's ships, basically. That's cool, Diz. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord and share your link or share your pictures and stuff, man. That would be really cool to see, or videos or whatever you got. Show them off. All right. So I guess enough dilly-dallying and delaying and all of that. I gotta check. Mystery. I feel like that separates the men from the boys. You know, it's really easy to just whip out a credit card and buy stuff and be like, I'll just pay for it later. And not only is accumulating debt bad, but it's, you know, you're being selfish, especially when you have a family. It's, you know, your kids, then your wife, then you. And, you know, not a lot of people want to hear that, but it's your kids, your wife, and then you when it comes to financial decisions. So you do what you got to do, right? It's always kids first, then your wife, then you. So if I got to wait, you know, a while to get No Man's Sky, or, you know, Arc Raiders looks awesome. I'm trying to think of some other game. Battlefield 6 looks amazing, but family, you know, kids, wife, me. I'll get it eventually. It'll go on sale at some point, and I'll have money again at some point. You know, things are just tight, and I'd rather have more money in the bank than, you know, spending it on a video game. As much fun as that would be, right? So, but, you know, as a man, got to be a man, got to make those decisions, got to stick to them and see your family through. But anyways, Viva La Dirt. I guess we'll do Afterlife Decision first, because I'm feeling video gamey. Let me know if sound is okay. I was fiddling with it earlier.
Whoa, whoa. Hello?
Hey,
Might be a little loud.
What is this? What's happening?
I don't really know myself, to be honest.
Oh my God.
What happened to you?
I was out on a hike with my wife. We were walking along a cliffside and I wanted to look over the edge. And I slipped.
Oof.
Rough. Took a tumble.
Am I?
Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Wait. Who are you then?
Britt,
Ben,
nice to meet you.
you too. So, are you?
Am I dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah, I was getting out of the shower and I slipped. I guess I hit my head or something. I don't really remember.
Oh.
Yeah. Yours is much more majestic.
At least neither of them died on a toilet.
Have you been here long?
A while, yeah. It's kind of hard to tell time in here.
Right.
That would be really embarrassing to die on the toilet.
buttons do?
I hope I don't go that way.
Well,
But I mean, I guess if I do, I won't
Respawn.
be around to be embarrassed by it. So
And quit.
there's that.
What happens when you quit?
I don't know.
Respawn?
Well, I guess you just sort of respawn.
Like, you start over?
Yep.
What would you guys do? Would you quit or respawn?
I think I'm gonna respawn. Quit seems, you know, like terrifying, and then to respawn seems maybe less so.
Yeah, but
If
what
I'm
about
being
your
honest,
gear,
I wasn't
man?
really having the best time being alive, so.
Hey, if you respawn, do you get New Game Plus? Is like that what happens? If you hit respawn, you get New Game Plus? Man, I hope so.
I'm not really dying to get back or anything.
What about your reputation?
Dying. Well, maybe it's not like a straight respawn. You know?
Is this one of those partial wipes or a full wipe when you respawn?
Maybe this is like reincarnation.
Yeah, maybe.
That's good, Mason.
Maybe it's like you just start again. Or maybe it's like you go back to a certain part in your life and that's what deja vu actually is.
Ah, okay.
Or maybe you just get to be a baby again. Or a panda.
A panda? No, I don't want to be a panda.
Have you tried like looking around?
Could
Yeah, it goes
I
on
mean, could be simulation. I mean,
This is always just kind of here.
Right.
I hope they actually show us
I think I'm
something.
gonna respawn.
Really?
They're gonna respawn right back into their
Yeah.
broken, mangled bodies.
Wow. Okay, well. Good luck.
Come back as a cow.
Thanks.
Depending on what country you're in, you'll be revered, worshipped even, or you could get eaten by a fat ass American
Okay.
with cheese on you. That's not a shot at anybody. I'm just saying. Oh man.
Wow, so I'm a worm now. If you'd like to support the channel, please visit Viva Plus. You can support more worm-based content. And asking for a friend, how long do worms live?
I don't know, bro, but I came back as a bird. So awkward.
Ooh.
Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Hold on. No. Go back. That's the one thing I don't like about having this in a playlist is it tries to autoplay the next one. And, you know, I want to be even if it's a ginormous content creator, I want to be respectful to the, you know, the people that made it and share the link and be like, hey, check these guys out. All right. We'll do one more. Oh, she's going to eat them. All right. She is definitely going to eat them. We're going to do one more Viva, and then we're going to do a nerd one, and then we'll kind of go back to video game stuff for a little bit. So, one more Viva. All right. Experiencing interruptions? Find out why. It's because I have a thing on that I'm not supposed to.
Ah, hello, adventurer. How may I help today?
Ooh.
After a quest or...
We going to get... Oh, no. I was going to say something about Star Citizen, but it would be in a wheel like that. Because they can't seem to do anything without the wheel.
perhaps something more?
Actually, never mind.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that checks. That's fine. Ah! Hey, Fred.
Hey, George.
That's me. How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
You know,
This is getting awkward.
still got that rash.
Ah.
No one's taken me
Oh.
to Gurdorn yet to get it sorted, so...
Oh, yeah.
But no, I'm fine.
You doing okay?
Nah,
Yeah.
bit lonely.
Oh, sorry to hear that, buddy.
Yeah. It's a bit embarrassing, but
I like the somber music.
no one ever romances me.
Oh, come on. Surely that's not true. Everyone gets romanced.
Nah.
Ah. Okay. Probably because of the rash.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Probably should stop telling people about that.
Oops.
Right. Yeah.
I pushed a button. Sorry.
Well, you know what they say, the adventure of your dreams is just around the corner.
Doubt it, knowing me.
He's got a rash.
Okay,
That is his event. That is his adventure.
well, if you need anything, just let me know.
Is there anything you can do to help me?
Probably.
Romance him,
not.
dude.
Oh. Well, hey, if you ever have any romantic advice, you're a married man, then please let me know.
I mean, I guess all I can tell you is when you meet the person you meant to be with, you'll just know.
Really? How?
Well, when I met my wife, it kind of felt just like 1,000 butterflies exploded inside my stomach.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Hey,
found out she's
I'm the
an
streamer, bro.
unholy
You can't
bitch.
fire me.
Oh.
We're kind of going through a divorce right now.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It's fine. You know what they say? There's plenty of fish in the sea.
In theory.
In theory.
In theory.
Yeah. In fact, here comes one right now.
Ooh, lovely brunette.
Oh my god. She's amazing.
She's
She's very pretty.
Oh, oh God, what do? I should tell her about my reaction.
No, just be yourself.
Oh, God. Hello, adventurer.
Oh, hi.
Romance.
Oh, but... sorry, did you want me to stop or...
Oh, no, please don't. Not on my account. Just, must be nice.
It's a bad.
Hello there. How can I help? After perhaps some more videos, maybe subscribe, or perhaps something more?
Romance?
Anything? No? You don't want to just hang out? Spend some time? Maybe a kiss?
Oops. Go back. Go back. I said go back. I gotta share this with everybody. YouTube. Come on now. Oh, man. All right. We got to do some nerd stuff, like some really deep nerd stuff. And I know JT's not here, but there's a few of us that enjoy doing hobby related stuff. And I think I didn't watch this video, but I bet you there's probably some really good points brought up in this. And as I said, you know, hobbying, it's super fun, but sometimes you just don't want to do it. And then it sits for a while. And then before you know it, there's an inch of dust on it. So, but I figured we'd kind of check this stuff out. Maybe not that deep. Maybe not that deep. So we'll check this out. I've watched this lady for a couple of years now. I wish I could do what she does as well as she does,
what if
but
the key to
I don't.
becoming a better miniature painter isn't found in your next masterpiece, but buried in the models you've never finished? Behind every showpiece lies a hidden archive. Half-finished projects, stripped-down miniatures, dream kits never touched.
Okay, so she's kind of got me right now because I have three stripped down minis currently, and 4 primed, ready to paint, and another 6 more that need to get primed. It's kind of bad.
We call it the pile of shame, but if
It's
you want to
gray
be
shame.
poetic, you could call it the miniature graveyard.
Yeah.
Every abandoned miniature tells a story. Sometimes it's as simple as life got busy, but often it runs deeper. Your pile of shame isn't just clutter. It's a reflection of your creative rhythms, your mindset, even your fears.
I mean,
today,
okay,
we're
I guess
diving
so.
deep into the pile of forgotten. Not to wallow in guilt,
does,
but to
Jim.
mine it for insight. Because understanding why we abandon miniatures might just be the secret to
Some of those
finishing
look
them.
really
And more
cool.
importantly, to
Painted
becoming
and
a better,
unpainted. Some of
more
them look really cool.
intentional painter. This is my pile of shame. Some of the most beautiful miniatures I own live here. Like this stunning piece from Inu Kingdom that I've been dreaming about painting for years. Or this Mindwork
That looks
model
cool.
gifted to me by someone very important who's no longer with us.
Well, that's also super cool.
And of course, there are the half-painted ones. This Kingdom Death pinup, stripped and repainted several times. The Flower Witch, she's about 75%
What kind of
done.
I'm
and
not
has lived
following
on
what
the
kind of
shelf
hobby
in my
that is, you
gaming
know,
room
like
for over
RC
3
car?
years. Honestly, I'm not too hard on myself. My pile
I
is
am.
relatively modest, considering that miniature painting is
My pile is nowhere near as big as hers. Like it's nowhere near as big as hers, but it's big enough. And with the amount of stuff I'm currently involved in, you know, work, family things, 2 channels, like it just, I look at it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this today. And before I know it, it's like, oh, I have an hour before bed. I can't do anything. It sucks. I don't have enough time to do it. So that's currently my conundrum. I'm hoping in the next couple of months that kind of, you know, I can kind of go around the other way. What's up, Allergic? get back to my plastic piles of shame.
Is literally my job. But it's still there and it still speaks to me. Today, while we talk, I'm working on one of those forgotten projects, the Bather. She was sent to me years
Motherboards,
ago
water
when the model
pumps, and
first
pipes,
released,
graphics
and
cards.
I immediately
Oh,
fell in love.
135th military
so why
truck.
has it
Oh, that's
taken me
cool.
years to pick up the brush? Well, we'll talk about it when we get there. Let's start at the beginning, the moment a project is born. So many miniature projects start with an electric burst of excitement. That, yes, this is the one moment that inspires us to drop everything else that we're working on and dive headfirst into this new project. Whether it's buying a new sculpt, priming a base, or laying down that first stroke of paint, it can feel like you're on top of the world.
I know a
For
lot
me,
of people like
that was
using the
flower
latex
witch.
gloves. I don't like
painted her
it.
and built this base as
I
a
don't.
gift to myself when I
just
became a
barehanded.
full-time YouTuber. I absolutely adore this sculpt. Honestly, she's the miniature that got me into painting in the first place. I filmed her for the video, full of excitement, and then never finished her.
Oh.
But what happened? Somewhere along the way, that spark turned into a routine. What began as a celebration started to feel predictable. The novelty faded, and with it, my drive to paint it. If that sounds familiar,
I mean, if that's
you might
not
be what
finished,
I like
that's
to
still
call
amazing
a
looking.
starter. Starters are fueled by possibility. A new miniature, a bold color palette, a character you've fallen in love with from a book or game. Something lights a fire and boom, you're all in. The dopamine is flowing, you're up painting all night. But finishing? That takes discipline, repetition, and sometimes even boredom. And that does not sound like any fun. If you find yourself starting a lot of projects and never finishing them, it might be more than just enthusiasm. It might be a pattern. Some of us struggle with creative impulsivity, or we fall in love with ideas that outpace our time, energy, or budget.
I think
You're
that's
not
my
alone if you
problem.
started
It
a
outpaces
sprawling
my time.
diorama or ambitious kit bash, only to realize halfway through, this is way too much. On the other side of unfinished projects is something even more common, shifting priorities. Because life happens. When your time and energy are limited, and everyone's is, setting projects aside doesn't always mean...
I have problems with shaky hands, so I've found some ways to mitigate it as far as like how I hold it, how I prop myself, how I work. I still have a lot of work to do. But I think that's kind of the cool thing about whatever hobby or craft or art thing that you get into. Your first few are always gonna suck. Like there's no way around it. It's always gonna suck. But if you're the kind of person that sees what you did wrong and learns from what you did wrong and tries to correct it and get better at it, I think you'll be all right. And then some miniatures too, like you know, if you're working on something very, very small, I would not recommend that for like just starting out. Like I would recommend something that's, you know, 2-3 inches tall, or maybe even a bit bigger, so you have more room to work and it's easier to see what you're doing. Because I think if you're just starting off and you're doing, you know, the little miniatures that are this tall, I think you might have a problem. But then again, you might not, because you can kind of get away with a lot more stuff that's not detail or oriented. But the bigger ones allow you to practice some things that, you know, you could work on. Man, life gets in the way of everything lately.
Giving up. It can be a powerful act of creative prioritization. A way of saying,
I like how the camera's moving.
This isn't where the magic lives for me. Tired of scrolling through endless cat memes and ads? Even when all you want is miniature painting inspiration? You're not alone. Meet Base Slayer, the community built for miniature painters. Unlike
Cool.
Facebook or
Interesting.
Instagram, here you control your feed. Want to see only 32mm fantasy, violet color
I watched
schemes,
a lot
object
of
source lighting, or speed paint challenges?
tutorials as
Done.
well,
You
and
filter by
I
color,
learned some stuff,
genre,
and then
time
I
spent,
also
paint
learned
brand
that I
technique,
suck at
any
some things,
combination you can imagine.
and
Every project you
learned
post
how
will live in
to
collections,
fix
private
it
or
or
public,
not repeat
so
that
you can
same
curate
mistake.
Your own little library of ideas and themes to return to later. Base Slayer isn't a
I'm
social
better,
network that shoehorns
but I
minis.
still have
It's
a
home for
long
mini
way to go.
painting
I would
from
love to
novices
paint like
to
that right
masters.
there.
Stop
But I
letting
have a
an algorithm
long,
decide
long
your
way to go before I
inspiration.
can get to
Start
that.
painting with
And
intention. Join Baseline
I do
today.
want to get to
Curate
that
your
level.
feed,
It's
be
just
inspired.
right now, life, time.
Let's talk
I could
about
be
one of
painting
the
right now instead of doing
sneakiest
this, but I'd
reasons to
rather hang
abandon
out
a
with
project
some
or
fellow
never
nerds
take it up in the first
and
place.
make fun of our
Perfectionism.
each of our
Perfectionism
random pile of
is
shames.
my biggest roadblock to finishing my pile of shame. Unfinished projects feel safe. A finished piece is out in the world. It can be judged, criticized, or fall short of the vision you had. But an unpainted mini, that's pure potential. It can be perfect as long as it stays untouched. For example,
I think she brings up a valid thing right there, because if you finish it, then even if you're a private person, people are going to see it. Man, my family's doing great. I hope yours is doing well as well. Allergic. What was my thought? Oh yeah. What she was saying. When you finish something, even if you're a private person, somebody's going to eventually see it. And she's right. A lot of us don't want to hear the criticism or the negativity or the silent judgment of what is basically an extension of yourself, because you made that. I mean, you may not have made the miniature, but you painted it, and it's your art, it's your vision, and it scares people a lot. And for me, that was a big fear to get over, just to even put a brush to a miniature or glue to a model. And I kind of just really don't care, and I'm only really measuring myself against myself. And if it sucks, and I know it sucks, and I feel like it sucks, or I feel like it sucks, I can see, because, you know, you don't just slap together a mini or a model or whatever it is that you're working on in just 5 minutes and move on with it. You've worked with it for hours or days or even weeks, and you know where your shortcomings were, and you can watch a tutorial video or go on to a website and get different ideas on how to do the same thing that you just did better or more efficient, and you can learn from that. And like for me, I had a big problem with contrast paints. I shouldn't have jumped in feet first into contrast paints thinking I knew how they worked, when I absolutely did not know how they worked. And that was a big mistake, and it was a learning curve. And now I kind of know how to treat them, right? How to work with them a little bit better. Am I great at it? No, not yet. But I know enough now that I know not what to do again. So there's that. But I think she's absolutely right about, if you finish something, and then it's, the judgment and you know what I'm getting at.
These two miniatures, I've spent so much time prepping. I've gap filled, sanded, filed, cleaned every tiny detail.
Right.
They're ready to paint.
And if you paint or build or repair or, whatever your hobby is, right? And you're owning your decision. And for some people, they can't shake regret, or they can't shake, self-perceived failure. And I think, in my opinion, I think failure is the greatest teacher and the greatest experience, because then you learn what you can't do, you learn what you can do better, and you learn how to progress. Some people take it as failure as like that, like it's final. Nothing is final, especially when it comes to hobbies. Every failure is another opportunity to grow. And I think that's not everybody, but for some, it's a hard lesson to learn. But I think it's a valuable lesson to learn.
And yet they've been sitting in my drawer for years. Why? Because I want to do them justice. The sculpts are stunning, and I would rather leave them unfinished in my drawer than finish them badly. Which is exactly why the Bather hasn't been painted until now.
Yeah.
Now let's say you do start. You're partway through a project, like this one right here. But suddenly the blends aren't blending, the contrast isn't looking right, and it suddenly feels safer to put the model down than it does to fail. That's called self-doubt. Stopping
Yes,
doesn't
I was
save
just
you from
gonna say that.
imperfection. It just freezes you inside it.
Yes.
And here's something wild.
Absolutely.
Our brains are actually wired to remember our unfinished projects more than it remembers our completed masterpieces. It's called,
For whatever she's gonna say it. This is a really bad pause, Miss Layla. This is very key. For whatever reason, the way the human brain is wired, you will always remember that negativity more than when somebody praised you for a good job or anything like that. Like I'll give you the latest example, right? I feel that my latest video that I did on another channel is one of the best videos I've ever done. But if I watch it back, there's 3 or 4 parts where I mispronunciate words or I stutter. And for me, it throws the whole thing off. But I can't look at those 3 or 4 parts, or those 3 or 4 words that I messed up and be like, oh, it's the most god awful thing ever. No, there's that sucks, but you know, it's a growing experience as we keep saying. What's up, Cosmic?
That mental clutter can
I don't know why
up.
it didn't trigger the cosmic
Every time
sound.
you see that half-finished model in your drawer, it whispers.
Oh, I know why.
"You
Because your
should've
name is
finished me."
different.
And that whisper can drain your energy, distract you from new work, and feed your inner critic. So we've talked.
So here, I'll give you an example, and they may not come out so well because of the green screen, but I'll show you something. So the first couple of times I painted, actually, let me go get them. These are gonna be really hard to see with the green screen. Hold on one second. These are going to be really hard to see with the green screen because I did like a alpine snowy forest camo. And it did just, I did what she did where I went, oh, I screwed up. And instead of finishing the project and possibly making it better, I just threw it aside and never touched it again. But I learned a lot from my mistakes. But this was the first guy I ever painted. Yeah, the green's getting greened out by the green screen. Let me, you know what? We can fix that. We can fix that. We can fix that right now. Properties. Cancel. Where's the filters? Filters. We are going to hide. All right. So here you go. Is it going to pick it up? There we go. So it didn't come out very good. So I learned a lot from that. And the next time I painted, I decided, number one, let's go with a little bit bigger of a model so the details don't get too small. And let's go for a solid color scheme with some good shadowing and some okay detail work for, you know, a simpleton like me. And so that was my goal. Just good shadows, good, some decent detail work and a solid color. And let's see what I can do with that. And, you know, that's how this guy turned out. So he came out really good. You know, he's got that nice dirty red color, like he's been used and he's oiled and, you know, little battle damaged here and there, but I liked how he turned out. So sometimes simple is better than getting super detailed. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go for a little bit more complicated color scheme and do kind of like a half and half. And, you know, so I ended up doing this color scheme. And it came out pretty good. And I went with the same thing, make it look like it's been used and it's dirty and grimy, and and there's a few techniques you can use for that. I don't like how the chest came out. The chest looks too clean, but the rest of it looks dirty and grimy, and it is what it is. And as I said, the whole point, I think, with
Stay a while and
what's up,
listen.
squirrel? I think the whole point of a hobby, first and foremost, is to have fun with it. So if it's painting, making a video, repairing cars, whatever it is, I think the first and foremost thing is have fun, right? If it's not fun, then you shouldn't be doing it as a hobby. Your hobby is supposed to be fun. It's very similar to what I say about video games all the time. Video games are meant to be fun. If you're not having fun playing the video game, then that's a clear indication that you should probably not be playing that video game anymore. And I'm not saying that like you need to rage quit and never come back. I'm just saying when you stop having fun playing a certain video game, or painting little stoppy robots, or making a video, or repairing, or whatever it is, take a break. Step back, take a break, and let your plastic pile of shame pile up a little bit. Just take a little break. I do understand what you're saying, Diz.
About why you
I do.
abandon your miniatures. The next question is, what can we do about it? How do we paint through resistance or gracefully step away when we need to? Let's break it down. Sometimes
I think this
the
is good
fix
coverage right here.
practical. You don't need to have a huge breakthrough. You just need a project not to feel overwhelming. Try breaking your project into bite-sized goals. Instead of saying, I need to finish this entire miniature, say, today I'm just painting the cloak. That small momentum builds trust within yourself. Little wins
I think that's a good way to
stack
approach
up.
it. And I feel that's the same way as we discussed with many other hobbies, model building, engine repair, electronics repair, or, building something. It doesn't matter. Mini paint, it does not matter. Oil canvas painting, doesn't matter. Break it down. Like when you're having a hard time finishing it, or you can feel the stress kicking in that, if I finish it, then the judgment will come and the criticisms will come. Just take it one piece at a time. I need to do the arm, or I need to do the helmet, or, on this car repair, I need to do, I'm going to show my age here. Maybe today I just work on the distributor cap and getting all the spark plugs back in, break it down into small bite-sized pieces, something that you can accomplish, and most importantly, learn from your mistakes. I think that's the most important thing.
Bored or stuck? Try shaking things up. Use an unusual color for shading. Might I recommend purple? Try a technique you've never
She
tested
loves
before.
purple.
Or change your miniature painting playlist. When I feel that spark fading, I scroll through base layer or flip through Instagram to remind myself why I love the project in the first place. And remember, finishing is a skill that needs to be trained.
Yes.
Pick a quick
yes.
project, a
100%.
speed paint or a boss with only 3 colors, and complete it just to practice finishing. No pressure, just
How she said a 3-color project. That's why when I came back to miniature painting after 2 years, I went with a solid color guy, and like I said, just worked on basics, shading in the recesses, some details, solid color, make it look used. That's it. That's all. Those were my goals. That's it. And then the last thing I did was the cockpit, and then what I did with the cockpit was, can I do a diagonal 2-tone? Can I bring it, well, tritone really, a black to a bright green to a dark green, and make it look somewhat believable. And for my first time, it looked pretty good. I was proud of it.
closure. If perfectionism is your biggest monster, and we know that it is mine, then start by shifting how you measure success. First, accept the ugly stage. That awkward middle part of a project, that's not a failure, it's just part of the process. It means you're in the middle of making something amazing. Focus on the process, not the product. Paint to learn.
I don't
Paint to
like
enjoy the
this
act,
close in
not
with
to
her
impress your future
bouncing her
self
hand
or
around.
your
It makes me a
followers.
little
Try
makes
this
me a little
trick.
ill.
Set a 30-minute timer. Paint until the bell rings, then stop. This trains your brain to show up and let go. It breaks the loop of endless tweaking and chasing perfection. And sometimes finishing isn't the goal. Sometimes letting go can be the best thing
Let it
for
go.
everyone.
Let it
Ask
go.
yourself,
Sorry.
why did I start this piece? Then, does this reason still matter to me now? If the answer is no, that's okay. Box it up, label it, and put it aside for the future you. You might return with fresh eyes,
stop with this.
you might not. Both are perfectly valid.
On my phone, it's okay. Like when she's doing this and I'm watching on my phone, it's okay. But when I'm watching it on a 28-inch monitor, it's not okay. It's not okay. This is not a shot at her. I'm just saying, like, I've never noticed this before because I don't usually watch her on my computer or my TV. I watch her on my phone. So I've never noticed this until now.
Instead of being filled with regret, take some time to reflect. Do a little post-mortem. Ask, what stopped me? Was it burnout, the technique, my schedule? Learning from this is more important than blindly pushing through it. Look for patterns. Do you always lose interest at the same point? Are there specific kinds of minis you abandon?
There's a lot of people that keep
Once you know your
notebooks about their
habits,
hobbies.
You can work with them. Most important.
There's a lot of people that keep notebooks about their hobbies and they write down stuff like this. What stopped me from finishing? What was my what were failure points in X project? And things like that. And they can review those notes and be like, okay, this is how I don't fall into the same mistakes as I did the last time. This is how I do. This is how I improve. This is where I need to improve, etc.
Reframe the narrative. Instead of saying, I failed to finish this, try, I chose to focus my energy where it serves me best right now. And remember,
Well, that's a good way of looking at it.
Every idea or every project needs to be finished. Editors don't publish every paragraph they've written. Composers cut whole verses or sometimes just don't release a song at all. Letting go of a project is part of the art. It's making space for what matters most. Whether you're pushing through your project or
I think it was Einstein that said this when making something or working on something. It's not how much you can add to it, it's how much you can take away from it, and it still be functional, safe and functional. So I think there's that as well.
setting it aside, unfinished miniatures aren't a dead weight. They're just part of the journey. Every abandoned miniature still holds a lesson. Every pros project made you a better painter. So don't be afraid of your pile of shame, listen to it. And then when you're ready, pick up your brush again.
And that goes for any
that's it for
hobby.
me. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe.
That goes for any hobby, video game, whatever it is that you do to enjoy your free time. I think she shared some very good information there on how to like kind of get through your various stages of quitting a project and coming back to it. I liked that. That was really good. That's Layla. Like I said, I've been watching her for 2-3 years now. Her and like Juan Hidalgo and Duncan Rhodes and a few others. I watch Ninjan every once in a while, but there's something about his personality that just doesn't vibe with me. But you know, we don't have to like everybody we watch, right? Right? Cosmic. It always goes back to Star Citizen. Star Citizen got us all. It got us all. She's pretty good. I like her. I like her. The reason why I like her from some of the other various artists I watch is she doesn't focus on the main, you know, miniatures like Warhammer and Battletech, because that's what I mostly watch and see is Warhammer and Battletech. I see her doing like busts and like full figurines and artistic poses, and watching her do different things that I normally wouldn't see done on a Warhammer miniature or a BattleTech or some other fantastical sci-fi thing. I really like the way she paints and how she paints, and it's like I said, it's very different from what I normally watch. So she's a person that I look at and I go, huh, I wonder how that would look on a robot, and I start thinking about it. I don't always get to put brush to plastic, but hey, you know, it's something to be like, huh, interesting. I never thought about it that way, or I never looked at color like that. And it's interesting. It's you know, it's pretty interesting. All right. Let's do a space game. So this is Obsidian Ant and Hell Galaxy. First impressions, action-packed space game. All right, let's check this out.
So, if you're looking for a new space game, then you could do a lot worse than trying out Hell Galaxy.
Kind of looks like
Everspace. Early
Everspace.
access back at the end of July, so it's pretty new. I've been playing it myself this morning, and well, I thought it good enough to actually point it out to you and to talk you through what the game is all about, as well as to show you my first hour or so of the game itself. As far as space games go,
This looks a lot like
a few
Everspace.
unique elements to it. One of those is you literally take on the role of the ship itself. Stripped of your humanity, transferred from your human body into that of the spaceship, you now are, to all intents and purposes, a robot in the form of a spaceship, or I guess you could say just a metal husk, a shadow of your former self. You've
Interesting.
been banished to a far-off galaxy, and it's here that you either choose to escape, that is the ultimate objective, and you can have a lot of adventures along the way. In terms of gameplay, I guess I'd describe it as somewhat of a blend, a hybrid between Everspace 2 and Chorus. Both good games, and
Interesting.
those elements have been used to very good effect here. That said, Hell Galaxy is very distinct. It's certainly
Let me
its
turn
own
this up for
game,
you guys. I just
and
noticed how
you'll
low
notice
it
some
was
of that as
on
we play through it.
OBS.
One thing that you'll probably immediately have noticed is that right now I'm playing in third person, and you can
Obsidian
switch
has
seamlessly
kinda like
between
a
both first person and third person, depending
Very
on your
low
preference.
voice. Or
I tend to switch
his
between
volume
the
on
two
his voice
depending
is
on
low.
which activity I'm actually doing. I find third person much easier when you're navigating around the closed-in spaces or when you're trying to locate.
Does anybody
specific
remember
objects.
Descent?
So right here, I'm very close to the start of the
I
game.
love
I've gone through
Descent
the
and
intro,
Descent
arrived
2.
at my first area, and this is the first station that you actually unlock. It seems that every time you arrive inside a new area, there will be a station that you can interact with. This will allow you
Okay.
to make purchases, it will allow you to trade, and of course,
This is
upgrade your
very,
ship in the
very
form of
Everspace.
crafting.
Everspace
Right at the
2.
start, the game will guide you
Like,
through
very
what you need
much.
to do. This is a kind of a tutorial, and it's the type of tutorial that I actually prefer. Ones that are directly integrated into the game, and they don't really baby you, they just...
Take notes, CIG. Like, you guys really need to put together some really, really, really good tutorials. Like, I think a large majority of the complaints that new players have, and even some veterans, if you had good tutorials, a lot of that goes away. And you having to redo certain systems, flight model, because people don't understand it, it would probably help if you created a tutorial and not rely on basically 5% of your player population going to people like Jonathan Winters or Avenger 1 or, you know, any of the other combat pilots that do teaching and YouTube videos about how to do the piloting stuff. I'm just saying, like, it might be advantageous to do a tutorial.
kind of walk you through the game and get you used to how things work. Right here, we're doing our first upgrade, and we're then going to head off on a mission. One thing that really stands out to me with Hell Galaxy are the aesthetics, the visuals. So for
It's
me,
like
these are
No
really
Man's Sky
reminiscent
meets
of late 90s
Everspace.
space games.
Like,
I'm not
all
sure
of
if
this
that's deliberately what they've
screams
gone
Everspace.
for, if you actually agree with me, but they really put me in mind of that particular era of gaming. And it's a time where I really enjoyed the games. A lot of really nice.
It's got
space games.
it's
And
got
I
a
don't know
late
about
90s,
you,
early
but at
2000s
this
feel
point
to
in
it
time,
for sure.
I kind of feel it's getting harder and harder to find really quality games. And this is also true in the world of, well, pretty much everything else. Finding good products is equally as hard. And that's where today's sponsor comes in, who actually makes some great wallets. Here's a word from Exter. My daily carry is the Exter Wallet Pro.
I'll let him
genuinely
sling his thing.
Press the metal trigger and your cards neatly fan out for instant access. And the RFID protection keeps your data secure. Want something even sleeker? Check out Exter Card Holder Pro. Machined from space-grade aluminium and also available in a stealthy carbon fiber finish. It holds up to 12 cards and has.
That's kind of how I feel too, Cosmic, about the whole
ultra-thin package.
Like,
now,
become an ace dogfighter pilot.
Wallet,
why? So they can change the flight system again in 2 years?
One charge lasts 6 months, and it works with Apple Find My. It lets you ring your wallet from your phone, or indeed the other way round if you're so inclined. Right now, Exter have a full sale. You can get up to 35% off, or if you use my code,
I kind of like those wallets versus
45%
Ridge.
Off. Viewers therefore received an extra 10% discount. Check out all the details through the video description below, including the link and the code. So you've just seen me conduct one of the first missions. That was to destroy some alien hostiles and pick up their remains and then deliver them to this location. As you might expect with this type of game, you have the main missions, the campaign, and then you have a whole selection of side missions. You can see them here in the journal. So I suspect
very
this is
nicely
going to
laid
keep
out.
the
Very
game
nicely laid
engaging,
out.
as there's pretty much always something to do. If you don't want to keep on with the main quest, you can soon continue with the side quests, and then.
I also like how they did the HUDs. They don't look like they're. They don't look like they don't belong. Like they look. These look like they belong here. Whereas, you know, it's been 6 months, but I would hop into my Gladius and I would look at the MFDs and like everything looked like Duplo blocks, just pasted to the screen. And I did not like the way the MFDs looked after they redid the flight model and the MFDs. I just did not like it. And some of them, like the old Hornet, where they'd be up in the corners, either they didn't work or they would be floating slightly off center, and it would drive me nuts.
Just switch back. So here's one of those side quests in question, and
that's because the Atlas MK2 is coming out, Jim, probably for IAE. Sorry, that's bad. That's bad.
It also introduces you to the scanner. Just press down the R key and it will scan the environment. Here, we're looking for something specific. You'll also notice during this expedition here, this searching, that there's a bunch of other resources that come up as well. And these can be used for crafting and I guess other things too. In this particular case, I'm looking for some husks, some alien husks that are attached to the side of these asteroids. But it turns out that the aliens around this location, these little critters, are none too pleased at me being in their area. Now you can destroy them, but they send out these little toxic orbs, and these seem to navigate themselves towards you. You can shoot them down, you can destroy them, although at this particular stage I didn't quite realise that and ended up getting impacted by one after the other. The trick, as you'll see a little bit further in, is to actually shoot those toxic orbs down and then take out the aliens themselves. Either way, they do drop these little pieces here, which you can then go and hand in for a few bonus credits. Back to the search though, we need to track down those husks, and I need to find 6 of them.
Yeah,
again, really liking the visuals here,
too, Cosmic.
Due to the,
too.
The extreme contrast and high vibrancy. I'm not
but see,
entirely
even then, if you have had tracking, you got to really tune how you look down. You got to really tune it.
Sure, if this is going to be
because I did it for a while,
taste. In fact,
but you got to really tune
likely not. But for me, I really do enjoy the aesthetics here. And that also extends to the design of the different scenery elements here, including these asteroids, and just the alien nature of them look particularly unpleasant. So here I've located the first of the husks. There's going to be 5 more. I thought initially maybe shoot it, but no, you've got to scan it, and then it kind of disappears. Do keep in mind that this game is still in early access, so I assume that some of these things will improve over time. If you see visual elements that don't seem quite complete.
Now, let me ask you guys something while we're watching this. When it comes to early access
title at this point. Now, at this point, I did.
Are you guys burnt out on the early access, or do you feel that some early access games still have a chance to be good?
Destroyed relatively easily. Now, this critter also seems to be playing it bloody smart. Look how it's hiding behind the structure here, trying to keep out of my fire range.
Didn't work out so well for him.
It took me a while then to track down all the husks. At this point I had just 6 and was continuing to fly around and scanning. What happens is that they do come up
What's up, Canop?
as you get near them, but just like this one, it seems you need to
That's
be
kind of my
close to them
feeling
for
too,
that actually to
Canop.
happen. I do wonder whether or not the game might benefit from some type of environmental radar. Whilst the UI is pretty good in the sense
I keep
that
missing
all
your
these
streams,
different elements
Canop.
that
Every time
locate
you
and
start
that
streaming,
track
like
where
I'm
it
either
is.
just
I
walking into
have
work or
personally
I've been
a
at
little
work
bit
for a
of
couple
trouble keeping an eye on
hours.
absolutely everything, and that's the same problem I have in many games like this, and that includes both Everspace 1 and Everspace 2 as well. Environmental radars always pretty handy. At any rate, eventually I'd found enough husks, and it was time to return the data I'd obtained to them back to the Imperial
Like I feel this
relay
this
here.
this one could
This
be
is
pretty
just basically
good.
a way of handing in your quest.
It also
Each of
feels
them
like
will be
they're
different
not
depending on whether you're just
like what
hunting a certain
is
number of
being
aliens,
shown
tracking
here.
down specific
Like they're not
resources,
trying
or
to go
collecting different types
beyond
of data. So
what
then
they know they
decided
can
to head
do.
on to the next step in the main quest, which involved me traveling to a different area of space. This is where things have started getting
I definitely want to come
interesting.
back to
So
that
Space Zone
comment,
here,
Mason.
Space Zone Prometheus, and then we get a little cutscene here. So yeah, these cutscenes, you will get them occasionally. It's one of the ways the game conveys the story. Incidentally, I also want to mention
definitely-
here that
both
space is
Diz
very
and
restricted
Mason.
in this game. You're kind of limited towards these little
I want to
boxed
come back
areas,
to
these
the
grids.
probably
And
when this is
I
over.
would imagine is possibly down to development scale, not having full-sized galaxies or full-sized star systems. Instead, you're limited to these fairly small boxed-off areas. There is an in-game
That
lore
does
reason
look cool.
for this. They basically explain that these grids, these are shields effectively protecting the area that's contained within them. But it also means you can't exit this. That said, this big Leviathan has managed to smash through the shield and made their way in. They soon leave though, they don't hang around, although you will see more of these later on in the game. But incidentally,
Okay.
the Leviathan taking down that shield has allowed hostiles to get into here and take down some of the friendlies. And you know what? Watching this footage has kind of made me realise what this all reminds me of. It's got some of elements of Babylon 5 to it, hasn't it? What do you think?
Does kinda.
Very classic 90s era sci-fi there, Babylon 5.
This whole
Okay,
thing
so,
reeks
I
of
had to
90s.
flee the area.
All right, I'm not trying to be rude to Obsidian, but I don't want to watch this whole thing if he's just going to be flying around explaining the levels and stuff like that. I think we got a pretty good understanding of what this game is. Like I said, I'm not trying to be rude to Obsidian Ant, but I don't want to watch. It's not good of me to just watch like somebody playing the level of a video game, right? We're supposed to be reacting to some stuff, and I wanted to get back to what Diz and Mason said. I think the few good early access or Kickstarter games that came out were the few good ones and the few good Kickstarters where we got games, finished games, and they were good, paved the way for every idiot in every game studio to just throw shit out there, get people to pay for it, and then either not produce anything or underproduce what the original project was. And I, for one, am not fond of it anymore. I don't buy into the whole early access thing very much. I don't really go out of my way to find early access and Kickstarters. Like for example, there's a game called Ahoy. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. It's 1800s, 1700s, 1800s. Anyways, it's the old big ships, right? And the concept behind it sounds absolutely amazing. The Kickstarter, the way they presented it, sounds absolutely amazing. Would love for that to be a game one day, but I've been burnt too many times by other Kickstarters. CIG, I'm looking at you, that I don't want to buy into this and then wait for 8 years just for their version of Arena Commander to come out, or buy into it and it be 18 years down the road before the game releases. I'm sorry, I can't do that anymore. Money is too important to me, and life is too important to me, and my time is much more important to me, and I don't want to go down that road. And then there's a lot of the bigger studios, you know, EA, Ubi, Activision, all of them. They all put out these early access games, and it honestly, some of these early access games don't feel like they're games, or even will be games, unless there's an overwhelming reaction to it, and then they become a game. At least that's how I feel anyways. And I understand that the gaming community is very fickle. No, we're not. It's 90% males, and honestly, some nice female characters, some action, and you know, a little bit of romance, and we're fine with it. We're fine with it. Oh, and obviously gameplay. But I think for whatever reason, it's getting lost. Like, actual gaming is getting lost, and we're left with agendas and political correctness and everything else. Just make a good game. Just make a good game with a good story, some good gameplay, and it will sell. It will. Trust me, it will sell. Early access just means they don't need to QA their product. Also, you have people who play the game early and get burnt out when the final product comes out, and find people not wanting to play it. Yeah, I also agree 100%. The problem is people will buy them, and so early access games will become the norm, and it's just an excuse to make 20% of the game make money and then give up on it. And yeah, and yes, and yes, you're right. And people keep buying them over and over and over and over again. And they're just, honestly, it's just free money at this point. And it's kind of terrifying. Like, look at how many EA, like, I don't mean EA, the company EA, but early access games, EA. Look at how many EA games have come out in just this past year. We're not even over with the year yet. And there are hundreds of early access games that you can find on Steam, Epic, Origin. Like, they're everywhere. And it's I don't know. I think eventually the market's going to just get oversaturated, and the whole early access thing is going to fall apart. At least that's what I'm hoping for anyways, because I'd rather just play a full game. Just straight up full game. That's it. I just want a full game. All right. I am getting extremely tired. So I'll give the viewers choice awards. Now I'll give you guys the choice here. Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like, Hannah. I really do feel like that. So I'll give you guys the choice in the last video we watch. Should we do Pizza Fight Club, Chuck E. Cheese? Should we do Camelot Unchained is almost here after 12 years, or Outer Worlds 2 review? Which shall we do? Oh, yeah, I agree with you, Mason. Like, it's so funny because these people are like, oh, X game company is the worst because they do this. And then that game company announces early access with microtransactions already baked inside of the game. And people go nuts and they sell 6 million copies in 4 hours. And it's like, what? You guys were just complaining on Twitter and Reddit and all that other stuff, going, hey, why why is this video game company doing this to us? This is terrible. They shouldn't do this. This patch broke that, or they added these microtransactions for this thing in order to do the thing that you want to do in the game. And then, as I said, 6 months, a year later, they're like, well, we have early access and there's microtransactions. You should do it. And then you're like, wow, this sucks. And most normal people are like, oh, this is terrible. Don't buy into that. And then other people are like, we need to buy it. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. Is it? Is it really? But yeah, I get it. I would rather play smaller studios games, but the problem is that there's not enough of them that are coming out, and there's too many that are also relying on the Kickstarter thing. And as I said, it's not a bad thing, but when you've gotten burnt so many times, or you've read the absolutely terrifying articles of people spending tens of thousands of dollars into an early access or Kickstarter game and it just never comes out, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. So we got a vote for the Camelot Unchained. Anybody else? Otherwise, it's going to be Camelot Unchained. I don't care either way. I don't care. These both look entertaining, or all three of them look entertaining. Chuck E. Cheese, Camelot Unchained, Outer Worlds. It's up to you guys. Right now we got Unchained. It's FOMO. It's FOMO. God, I hate that word. I think it's Star Citizen that killed the whole FOMO thing for me. I hate it. I hate it. I think it's a terrible thing to do to your consumer base. I really did not want to go down. I'm going to wait for one more person to answer, see what we're going to watch. Agree 100%, Mystery. But one of the things that left me very upset with CIG is they constantly are pushing new ships, and they're in concept, so get them now, or we're going to raise the price $50 to $100 when they do come out. And then the ship comes out, and a year later, in some cases, a ship of the same class, the same size, comes out, and the ship that you bought a year previously gets nerfed, and the new one is better in X amount of ways, and then they do it again to another ship in another category. And sometimes they just come out with a Mark II variant. Come on, guys. Come on. Been waiting for that, Diz. All right, let's do Unchained, and then I'm out of here after that. So this is Kira. Camelot Unchained is almost here.
Okay, what up, friendos? Welcome back. It's been a while. I've been missing for multiple months. People thought I was dead or something had happened to me. Not really. That's, I guess, a topic for another video. Today, we're going to talk about
I've never watched this guy before.
One of my favorite subjects to still cover, because it's just still here, right? Not the game, because the game will probably never be here, not in any meaningful way anyway. But some people are of the opinion this game is going to release into early access by the end of the year. And if you've not been following along, Camelot Unchained, I mean, where do you begin the story of this fucking dumpster fire, right? Camelot Unchained is the spiritual successor to Dark Age of Camelot, a lot of, MMO boomers' favorite MMO from back in the day. And of course, when people originally saw Mark Jacobs, the original developer, the original creator of Dark Age of Camelot, was going to make a spiritual successor, they were like, oh, cool. It's insert fucking year that makes me feel very old, like 2012 or something, maybe 2013. It was something like that. Here's a Kickstarter for an MMO. We don't know any better yet. We don't know that a bunch of these, godfathers of the MMO genre are going to show up and say all the right things and say, oh, look at me, I'm this guy who made this game. Give me X hundred thousands of dollars and I'll make the new best MMO that we all want to play.
I mean, it's Chris Roberts. I got absolutely crapped on for this, but you have to realize Chris Roberts hasn't released a video game in almost 30 years, because I wouldn't count, what was the one that he got kicked off of? I can't remember is it Freelancer? Was it Privateer or Freelancer? I don't remember. Whichever one was the last one. He didn't technically finish that. He got booted off of that. So it's been nearly 30 years since the man has released a video game. And you have to remember, in that 30 years, he spent a good portion of his time in Hollywood. And he didn't exactly have a very good track record of writing, directing, and even producing. So, yeah.
And then deliver nothing for
also
a fucking
agree,
decade, which
also
all
agree,
of them
Mr.
have
E.
done, by the way.
I'm not going to get political here, Mr. E, but I've been seeing some of the stuff that you've been posting on Twitter. And one thing I've been wanting to say to you with some of your posts, not all of them, but with some of them, is it's a lot easier to lie to someone than tell somebody the truth and convince them that their viewpoint was a lie. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
And of course, people, invested back then into Mark, into his vision, into the idea that there was going to be a new Camelot game in a very short period of time. Fast forward to most people having died.
You back this game?
Graduated university,
Sorry,
fucking
Cosmic.
retired, done all these things, and the game is still not out. And there are still, for some reason, holdouts that believe, everything is going according to plan, despite numerous reports, despite massive layoffs, despite closures of games that nobody ever wanted to be made, which we'll go over in a minute. But that's all to say, people think this game's launching in early access by the end of the year, which is not crazy outlandish. It's just, of course, it'll be closer to 15 years than 10 by the time this game does launch into early access, if it is this year. And that's kind of crazy when you look at what the game is. So I've not watched this video. It's 12 and a half minutes long. I'm not going to watch all of it because that would be a waste of your and my time. We are going to watch a little bit of it together, and I'm not going to be negative.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Let me qualify that. I'm not going to be overly negative.
I can't watch Star Citizen stuff without being negative. Like I can't do it. I can't. Hey man, we don't do the Hassan thing here, Mason. We don't advocate for Hassan treatment. But I mean, like I said, I can't watch Star Citizen stuff and not be negative about it. Like that's why I try not to react to it, and that's why I don't play it. Because there's just too much shit going on behind the scenes that I just don't care for. I will say this, Jim. If you go back and watch it, he said 12 to 18 months. I'm not defending the game. I'm just saying, right? But they're not going to make it. They're not going to make the 12 month. They're not going to make the 18 month. And if anybody thinks that Squadron 42 is coming out in 2026, they are absolutely fucking delusional. They are delusional. There is no way that game comes out in 2026. And I guarantee you, everybody that has their sights set on Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in spring of next year, they're out of their mind. It's not going to be in spring of next year. It'll either be a midsummer release or it will be fall. Mark my words. And I think it'll be fall. They'll make way more money in a fall release than they would. Honestly, it's Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 6. They're going to make $3.5 billion in 4 days. You watch. They spent $2 billion on the game and have taken 9 years to develop it. CIG hasn't done that. you know what? They are going to make mark my words, $3 to $3.5 billion in the first week of its release. Mark my words. Mark my words. Grand Theft Auto 6 will damn near do $4 billion in the first week. I'll say $3 billion the first week. Its first year after release, it'll probably push $5 billion with sales and microtransactions. Guarantee it. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
For the sake of comedy, fuck. Why'd I have to go and say that before seeing it?
That game does look 12 years old already.
You know, silver lining. People wanted a 2000s MMO, you know, 2003 MMO, and
this is very 2000s.
Maybe they'll get one. It is what it is, guys. This game was not ever going to look like Star Citizen graphically, was it? It was never going to look crazy.
If Star Citizen keeps going down the development path, it's going to start looking like this too in a few years.
But this is a real blast from the past, right? This is obviously not what you're expecting to launch in 2026, potentially. Early access, which of course would then mean multiple more years before development anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the frame rate is
The frame rate is terrible.
It's rough. I'm not even trying to be mean.
8 frames?
But this is going to come off
6
very
frames?
mean. You know, in the last 4 years, I've made a point to at least once or twice every month go on Kickstarter and search MMORPG and click the video game tag and just see the fucking delusions that are being posted on there by like one guy called Jonathan or something, not to call this individual guy out, but it's always the same game, and it, you know, no matter who the person is, it's one guy that's just what do you even say? I'm again trying not to be mean here. They've got something wrong with them that in multiple ways, but in the way I'm referring to is that they think that they can make like World of Warcraft, current day World of Warcraft on their own and like save the MMO genre, and they're just delusional. They've got, you know, real problems with like understanding their own capabilities and also what they're doing and how it looks to other people, like a series Dunning-Kruger. And that's fair enough, right? Do whatever you're going to do. But if, you know, you're not...
So here's the thing. We are at I mean, we've always been at this crossroads where graphics meets story, but a lot of people, they want the looks. The looks to them, the looks matter more than the story and the gameplay. Now I'm different. Like if this game right here that we're watching had really good gameplay and really good story and the graphics looked like this, I'd still be okay with it and I'd still play it. But let's face it, this is, I know nothing about this game, and I can already tell you right now, this is gonna look, act, and have the same type of storytelling as a 2008 video game. Is that bad? No. Some people enjoy that. Am I going to enjoy that? Probably not. And I have no connection with Dark Camelot or whatever the other game was that this is supposed to be the successor to. I know nothing of it. I never played it. It's not nostalgic. This is not nostalgic for me, so I have no interest in it. I have interest in the story that Kira is telling me, and I'm having interest in the story that Cosmic has told me in Discord about this game, but I don't need, I don't, it just does not look fun.
Fucking Michael Jordan, are you? You're not a savant. You're not showing up.
Exactly, because I
and
100% agree. Jim, you too.
I don't know fuck all about basketball. I don't know why I'm using that as an example.
I mean, look at Pal World. I had fun with Pal World.
That's a long story to say.
A long while, and I've actually been thinking about going back to it.
Almost indistinguishable from one of those games. You know, games. Obviously, I understand that a lot of the development that's gone into Camelot Unchained is on the back end. It's the engine. You know, it's the whole thing that they were building. It was the sob story that they sold that you know, we've got all this investment, and that's why we're making this other game called Final Stand Ragnarok that nobody ever played, which we'll go over in a minute.
What? They made a second,
probably millions of dollars.
They made a second game. Guys, this is getting, let me back that up just a little bit. They made a second game. This sounds way too familiar.
You know, we've got all this investment, and that's why we're making this other game called Final Stand Ragnarok that nobody ever played, which we'll go over in a minute.
Oh my God.
Wasted fucking probably millions of dollars on that. Absolute garbage. But at the same time, that doesn't change anything. That this visually looks indistinguishable from something that you could put together with, like, fucking, what's that thing called? There's like a pack that you can buy on like Unity or whatever, that's like the MMO pack that everyone uses on fucking Kickstarter. This
Unity
looks
pack.
like that with a slightly different UI. It's
hold on
visually...
1 second, guys.
Hi, Dad.
Come here.
Okay.
Let me see. Are you in frame? It's up there.
Hi.
So you are sorry. I didn't mean to hit your back. I was looking at the camera. This is you're quite famous in my little circle of YouTube. You're the girl. Oh, you're not wearing that shirt.
No.
You're the woman with the titanium back, with the titanium spine.
I'm a girl though.
How was your school dance?
It was really cool. I got to see all my friends, and they were all in different costumes, and they all looked really good. And I met two new people. A kid named Lee. They were Michiro Tohito, and then a Shinobu girl. I don't know her name. And they looked so cool.
Cool.
And I saw like 3 other Demon Slayer characters, and I was like,
Cool. All right, let me finish this, and then I'll come and talk with you. It'll be like a half an hour or so. All right? I love you.
Love you, Dad.
Hey, Remy didn't lose her money?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, and it turns out I didn't bring $20. I brought 54.
Oh my God, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Even if this game had amazing gameplay.
That was my daughter. Her back is great. She went to a school dance tonight and got to see her friend. Yes, she is another nerd. She is an anime nerd. She's also a I'll do it another time. I'll have her come in here and show you some of her sketchbooks. Amazing artist. Her and her older sister, really good artists. I can't even draw a straight stick figure. So yeah, she is kind of a cyborg.
If you put this in front of like a mass audience today, in 2025, 2026, whatever, people aren't beating your doors down to play this. I'm sorry to say it. It just is what
in
it is. I'm being
2026,
realistic.
people are not gonna.
People are gonna obviously say, "Oh, but old school RuneScape is very popular." Old school RuneScape is very popular for a very different reason. It's also, you know, to compare
she's
one of the most
into
successful
something Demon Hunter. I don't know. Shinru Demon Hunter. I don't know. She's into that, and we don't have Crunchyroll and Netflix and all of that. So she watches a lot of that at like her friend's house and stuff like that. So that's where she watches it at. And then she goes, like, a lot of her sketches are manga, and she will go online and get a picture and then, you know, do her rendition for it.
Full games ever to this is kind of crazy, but
oh well, thank you, Canna.
I digress. Maybe I'll be wowed. But this does legitimately look indistinguishable from
it looks like
basically any Kickstarter project I've covered in the last 4 years.
Yeah, she was talking about that.
Have they forgot about him? Is that it? Are we done? Was that the combat? What is this a showcase of?
Run, little dwarf, run.
No, he's still being chased. He's not only being chased by that bear, but he's being chased by the fucking frame rate boogeyman.
Yeah, the frame rate is not good.
Apparently something that this motherfucker cannot outrun. Shit, let's fast forward. Is there going to be some, like, something else?
He's still running,
he's in the
boys.
swamps. He's in the grasslands.
He's still running, boys. He's running.
I assume this is comments disabled.
He ran from the North
right?
Pole.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To
You
this
cannot
looks
be
like
allowed to speak.
Central
you must
America.
go to the subreddit that is moderated by a man who fucking hates me. Irrationally hates me for just reasons he made up in his brain. What is this a showcase of? Who the fuck at the company sat there and went, right, guys?
There's no story. There's no nothing.
It's been in perpetual beta for fucking 10 years.
Let's just put out some gameplay of a dwarf running.
It has like 7
terrible
people that
frame
post
rate.
on it ever. What we're going to do now is we're going to release a video that showcases why this game's taken fucking 14 years and close to or over $10 million to make. Here we go. Right, pitch the ideas, lads. Okay, we'll go outside and we'll find...
I'm not excusing Star Citizen, but at least Star Citizen looks good currently. You know, if development continues for another 5-10 years, it may not look so good. But I'm just saying, like, at least they have kept updating the looks of their game. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying, you know, it's the greatest looking game ever. I'm just saying it looks good. Whereas this game looks like it's stuck 15 years ago. Is that necessarily a bad thing? No, it's not. There's a lot of people that like old school games like that. And I'm not hating on those people. But for me, I can already see that this game seems to lack any sort of story, since they're not even giving it to us in the show off thing that they're doing here. And they, like, even if the game looked like this, if the frame rate wasn't dropping so drastically, oh man, it might not be that bad. But the frame, like the whatever's going on with their engine and the frame rate, it's not good. It's really not good.
Jeremy on the street who's been homeless for 15 years and smokes crack cocaine every day and he's never played a video game ever in his life. We'll bring him into the office and we'll just have him fucking turn fraps on and just unregistered bandy cam and just roam around the world and then we'll just post that on our social media. What the fuck is this doing? What is the purpose of this?
This is funny. He's kind of melting down.
It's giving a worse representation of the game.
Yeah.
Or this is just...
I mean, honestly, this would be comparable to CIG putting out a trailer for their game, but then actually doing it in game and like going to the Xenothreat event they did a couple of years ago, where the frame rate was 1 and desync was 10 million. And then we're like, come play our game, and then put that out. Nobody would ever play that, which is why I think people get so angry about it. Like when I would post it or when Grumpy would post it. But yeah, this is not a good, like, if you are a Kickstarter company, this is not a very good representation to be running around aimlessly, have no story attached to it, no narrative, no anything. You're not even showing off cities or towns. Look at how far we're into this video. No cities, no towns, no narrative storytelling, no missions, no mission givers, no quest givers, no shops, no crafting. It's just a guy running around whacking at some bears and some zombies with the frame rate at 4. Like, this is really bad.
Expected to be doing playing the game like a I guess the game is made for MMO boomers, so we're going back
being
to
built on Unreal 4.
Babby's first log on to
I mean, Unreal 4 is fine,
game.
But whatever they did to this is not good. This thing is chugging hard and there's nothing on screen.
Yeah.
I don't hear the music.
I'm trying, guys. I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm trying.
Music.
But what are we seeing? We're 5 minutes in and it's just a character running around. Veil skill and effect developments. Right, this is going to be big, right? This is going to be crazy. There's going to be some real shit happening right now.
And the other thing I don't like, there's the big pause button. Their models, they look weird. Like this guy, he's probably a barbarian or warrior or paladin or whatever, but his head doesn't look right versus the shoulders and the chest, and even the legs look disproportional to the rest of the body.
Show it to me. Show me the money.
This one looks at least proportional.
Is that it? Do we need to see it again for fucking clarity?
What?
He's entered the veil.
What is this game mechanic? Oh, look. He put the one ring on or something. But what does this do for you? Like, I don't understand this. What does this do? You get to find some ghosts? Is this PvP? What is this? Like, there's no explanation to it.
I don't know. Fuck it. Let's just move on. Let's talk about the other subjects. Fuck me. What are people saying about this? Are they like... They made progress. It's starting to look like something like a game, but it's still a bit rough and clunky. A bit.
Ugh. I don't know if I like that.
The main problem for me, a lot of the original backers, I suspect, is that my life has changed so much since I backed a Kickstarter 12 plus years ago, and I've no time to play MMOs. It's not like the good old days where I could log 4 to 6 hours a night and all day on the weekends on DAOC. I'm glad it appears that they're making some headway, but I'm doubtful that I will ever play it and still do despite its chances of making it to market. If it makes it to market,
I don't think this is going to make it to market,
because there will be basically no players for this. I can't see a world in which this...
I would love to see now this one is going to probably be easier to dig into than CIG, but one thing I would like to know is, you know, the yearly graphs where it's got, you know, the months and, you know, all the little colored bars about how much money is being made and all of that. I want to know if they are including melts, because there is no way with like how last year went and how some of this year has gone that people are that willing to just drop money like that. Like it doesn't seem feasible, at least not to me.
Become successful. I just can't. So there's a post here. Camelot Unchained shows off environmental combat updates. Mark Jacobs say they're aiming for early access in late 2025. It is currently late 2025, so I guess they've got a couple months, 3 months before they're, you know, out of time on that one again. The beta footage features pretty solitary play, but Jacobs did emphasize that they need more people in the game to continue prepping CU for the planned early access. I mean, there's a very simple solution for that. Let people play the game. Like, you need more people in the game, you let people play the game. But here we go. If you didn't know, Final Stand Ragnarok, which was originally called like something else, fucking I don't remember, it's been so long, guys. Basically, everyone paid money to back Camelot Unchained, right? And then years and years, like a decade into development of the game, Mark Jacobs just fucking appeared one day like the Wizard of Oz and was just like, oh guys, big news, tune in to tomorrow's live stream and we're going to show off some huge news about Camelot Unchained. And then it was just this random fucking game that nobody cared about, and there was a huge backlash about it. Mark came out and said some funny things that have been clipped forever, and I've featured in my videos before about not owing people, you know, fucking legally or morally, when he offered people refunds, blah blah blah. And then the idea was that this game didn't take away any development time from Camelot Unchained, which I don't know how to like break this down without it sounding like I'm trying to like talk down to people. But there were some people in the community, especially like the real diehards, the Jim Jam wearers, that were like, oh no, clearly it didn't take any away because they got more investment to make this other game, which is fine, but the investment was to make the engine, right? That's what they're investing in. And this game was like a way to get a product out there to, you know, showcase what the engine can do, blah, blah, blah. But
I'd be
from what I was
pissed.
told, which is
I'd
all
be
I can go on,
pissed.
as well as common sense, is that
I'd be
people
pissed
were
as a
working
backer.
on Camelot Unchained and then were also working on this other thing. And of course, some stuff translates over one to one, and work on one will go work on the other because it's work on the engine. But at the same time, this game, you know, this fucking thing was absolutely
this sounds
dog
exactly
shit.
like
Nobody
Squadron
was
42.
ever going to
I
play
hate
this.
to
It
keep
was
comparing
a
the two-
complete waste of time
two,
and money. And
But dang,
even up until, I don't know, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, when I posted my last video about Camelot Unchained, they were still pouring money into this fucking thing. Bear in mind, I also showed this in my last video when I talked about this. Oh, I have a VPN on, that's why. Nobody played this game.
oh my god.
The max play account they ever had was December 2024, and they paid people to play this. They literally, months ago, like, had gone to big content creators like Co-Carnage and people like that and paid them thousands of dollars to do promotion for this game. And all of the YouTube comments, I showed this last time, all the YouTube comments were like, hope you got paid well for this. Man, this game looks like shit. Nobody logged in and played this. They pumped money into this like, oh, finally, guys. They also had a cash shop with microtransactions for a game. The time they put the cash shop
They had
in.
microtransactions in this too? Oh my god, what a slap in the face to a backer. If you were, doesn't matter if you're an original backer or not. If you backed and this is what they did with your money, oh my god, I would be beyond furious about this. And I don't know how I would get my money back, but I would try to find some way to get my money back. I would probably contact a lawyer. I would feel the exact same way if Squadron, like if I was still had money in Star Citizen and Squadron 42 comes out and it's literally a interactive movie where everything is on rails, I would flip my shit about it. I would flip my shit about it. I would do anything and everything I could to get my money back out of that. Like this is bad. You spent all that time, all that money, and you got 42 people to play your game. Well, that's their peak, but still.
Was averaging like 2 players online. Like, it's crazy to me the level of fucking delusion and failure of this. But then, of course, they've closed the game down because of
I know they have.
why would they continue putting money into this? Why would they have continued putting money into this for like the last 3 years that they have done? But they say, we want to share an important update regarding the status of Final Stand Ragnarok. As part of our efforts to refocus the studio's attention on delivering Camelot Unchained, we've made a difficult decision to end development and support for
subscription-based that?
FSR.
Oh, no.
Now, for all the people that told me years ago, they never took...
I feel like eventually Star Citizen will become that. I really do. I feel that Star Citizen will become subscription-based because they're never going to get away from... in my opinion, they'll never get away from ship sales. So they'll move to subscription-based, and subscription-based people will get first shot at buying concept, and they'll be the first shot at getting to fly the new ship when it comes out of concept for 6 months to a year before the plebes get it. But I have a feeling that subscriptions are going to come to Star Citizen.
Resources. Final Stand Ragnarok never took resources away from Camelot Unchained.
Yes, it
How is
did.
how is that aged as a statement? They now are closing the game down to refocus efforts on Camelot Unchained. If there was no resources diverted to this, why would they need to close this? Surely. But makes total sense, right?
Wow.
As a result, Final Stand Ragnarok will be delisted from Steam, will no longer be available for purchase. Oh, fucking hell. We're weeping. We've lost a fucking gem. Because Final Stand Ragnarok is an online-only game, that unfortunately means that existing owners will also no longer be able to play. RIP. Those 7 fucking people that ever bought this and didn't refund it, and the people who were given it free, plus thousands of dollars to play it, man, they'll be fucking...
There's a lot of things they've stated, Firefrost, and I don't believe them. I do not believe them one bit. One bit. Not one little bit. I don't believe them at all.
They'll be mortified by this news. Crazy. A great deal of passion, creativity, and hard work went into this project, and we're incredibly proud of what we built. In addition to being fun to play, based on what? Fans said Ragnarok served as a proving ground for our infrastructure and overall code base. Yeah, it showed that your infrastructure could host fucking 40 people that one time ever. Congrats. Big fucking stress test. Battle testing the systems that will ultimately power Camelot Unchained. We're deeply grateful to everyone on our team, past and present, who helped bring. Thank you to all who supported this project and joined us on the journey. Yeah. So that's closed. So another one bites the dust.
That's
fucking
terrible.
Mixed reviews. 18 reviews ever.
18
As I said when I refunded, this
reviews?
game is too early for early access. The developers need to pull this and be patient. Review in 2021. It's gone. It's got no reviews since then. Oh, sorry, there's some here. July 2024. Probably better off burning $20, but I had to see the dumpster fire because a random event triggered DAOC in Camelot Unchained memories, which led me down this path. It's not good. It's actually really bad. I cannot believe that this was released. And that's being nice about it. This isn't early access. This is a copy that shouldn't be exhumed.
Fire. And see, here's the other thing, and I agree with you, Jim. So summer's over, right? CIG said the blades would be available in game during the summer, and the summer's come and gone, and those aren't in game. Not as far as I know. You know, like I don't know. I just don't believe them anymore. But this is terrible. This is god awful. The fact that as a backer, you back Camelot Unchained. They made a second game using how many millions of dollars. Then they paid people thousands of dollars to play their game and try to get traction on it. And they couldn't get, what, eight people to play it at the same time? That's crazy.
Couldn't have said it better myself. What a great review. Amazing. But now let's get to a video I never made, which was, a few months ago before I quit YouTube. People were repeatedly posting my video that I made about Camelot Unchained in the Camelot Unchained subreddit. And let me just remind you, this subreddit has there is no posts here. Like there's almost nobody.
Dude, that's disgusting.
1 month ago, 11 days ago, 10 days ago, 9 days. 8 days, 7 days.
That is disgusting.
These posts from 11 days ago were when a new big trailer,
like
the
for
thing
purchasing
we just
game, I
released.
can understand, but free
this
from
subreddit
Wicklow,
is fucking
that's
deader
terrible.
than a doornail. And yet, my video that I posted, I don't care that it's not on the subreddit. Like, who gives a fuck? It's not going to get me any traction anyway because nobody's on the subreddit. My video, which is about Camelot Unchained, was posted, removed, posted, removed, posted, removed. And you can see if you go into these threads, and you can see if you go into the threads that have been removed, like the person posting it kept reposting it and it kept being removed. Oh my god, the guy's still posting the thread in another thing from 3 days ago. That's a coincidence. But either way, he kept posting it and it kept being removed over and over again, even though there's nothing else to even talk about. And the reason I want to highlight this is because this moderator, he'd not posted on Reddit for like a month. He'd hardly posted
Same with
for
the
months
F8C.
on Reddit in general. But this guy has some kind of like irrational thing in his brain that whenever I come up, he just has to show up and just lie about me. It's really fucking weird for a janitor for a dead subreddit for a shit game that will never release. But obviously you can see a lot of the people in the thread don't like that I am posting a video about something I want to talk about on my channel. Just don't fucking interact with it. That's okay. At what point are videos like this beating a dead horse? The new information came out, so I mean,
See, I get where he's coming from. I get where he's coming from because I started doing that kind of with Star Citizen, not so much as to be like, hey, screw Star Citizen, screw CIG, and that. It was more of like, if I was gonna play a game on stream that I liked playing. Hey, what's up, Pagan? If I was gonna play a game that I played on stream and do reacts to and things like that, then I was going to make damn well sure that people understood what they were getting into and what the problems are. That being said, that didn't mean I didn't love Star Citizen. That didn't mean that I hated Star Citizen. It was just like, hey, look, this is what you're getting into, right? You know, it's like warning your friend, right? When you get that big bag of ultra spicy ghost pepper chips, and your friend's like, hey, let me get one of those, and you're like, whoa, dude, I just want you to let you know that this is way beyond hot. Like, this is super, super hot. Like, you need to be careful with this. And that's kind of how I feel like what I was attempting to do with Star Citizen. It probably came off wrong, but that's how I kind of perceived it, at least from myself anyways. Oh yeah, 318. I couldn't play 318. 318 for 2.5 months. I think it was either 319 or 319.1 before I could get back in. So yeah, I feel you there, Fire. I feel you there.
Technically, I do think the game is a dead horse, but at the same time, if people want updates on it, if people want my opinion on it, then that's fine, and that's okay. It is what it is. But then
I'd also like to say too, I am not as big as this guy. Like, let's see how many. Shrink down. Yeah, he's got almost 90,000 subs. I'm not anywhere near that guy's size. But when I would release a video about being negative about Star Citizen, you know, I got just creamed in dislikes and negative comments. And the thing is like, look, if you don't want to watch my video, then don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Move on with your life. Like, don't watch it. You don't have to leave a comment either. You're not hurting my feelings. And even if you do leave a comment, you're not hurting my feelings. And sometimes I'd push interactions just to get a rise out of the person, because your internet comments don't hurt my feelings. It does not hurt my feelings at all. You're just some random weirdo on the internet behind a keyboard or a bot. Like, I don't really give a shit.
Obviously, this moderator shows
Oh yeah,
up,
I had all the problems that you're talking about, Firefrost, during 318, 319. I had those
reporting.
Too.
Definitely am.
That's why I started playing DayZ.
Reporting. What you don't understand, because you're a fucking moron, is that there's a difference between me giving my opinion on something
the Imperium of Man
and
is looking for
something.
Crusaders.
So if I, see some information and then say, here's my opinion, and I'm sat talking about it, that's me just using my platform to give an opinion.
And that's the other thing. Like, people cannot differentiate the difference between an opinion and a fact. Like, I can say factually, 2 years ago at CitizenCon, they said Squadron 42 is coming out in 2026. My opinion is it's not coming out in 2026. And people lose their damn minds. What are you talking about? That's what they said. That's what they said. That's coming out in 2026. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, guys, if it was coming out in 2026, like, why hasn't marketing started? Like, marketing needs to, like, they have about 2 to 3 months before marketing needs to start. Like, it has to start. Marketing needs to start. Within 6 months, Mark Hamill, Henry Cavill, John Reyes Davies, Gary Oldman, they all need to start making their rounds and doing interviews. Do you guys see this happening? I don't.
If I make a video where I'm like, sources told me this, I've investigated this and this is what I found, that's a report.
I think
you wouldn't understand that because you're a fucking idiot that moderates a subreddit for overly moderates, by the way, a dead subreddit
Jim,
for a dead game.
And every 2 years.
But then he says reporting drama, even if he has to make it up.
Shroud of the Avatar,
broken
2
clock
months.
Can be right
Ashes
twice a day. Well, at least I'm
months.
right. It is what it is.
I'm glad I didn't back
even
Ashes.
My biggest hater
it looked interesting.
has to admit that.
The fact. So here's the thing that makes me laugh about Ashes of Creation, Dune Awakening, and quite a few other titles, is that when you watch Star Citizen and CIG talk about server meshing, they still talk about it like they're the only ones that do it, and they're the only ones capable of doing it, and they're the only ones that have got it working. And it's just not true anymore. And the fact that the only thing they have people beat on is the scale. That's the only thing they have them beat on anymore is scale. That's it. I mean, that's really it.
I am fucking right pretty often. And of course, reporting drama. And then he goes, Kira has been caught regularly lying about Mark and CSE.
I agree, Jim.
Where have I been caught regularly lying about Mark and CSE?
Oh, yeah.
Can you point this out? Does it exist? Can we see?
I'm sorry to keep talking over Camelot Unchained and the absolute disaster that is. I did not know. I learned more today from this video and the little tidbits that Cosmic has given me than anything I've ever seen or heard on the internet before about Camelot Unchained. So for that, thank you. It's kind of nice to see that there's a bigger dumpster fire than CIG and Star Citizen. I mean, that's really bad. You know, the engine is dated, the graphics is dated, the gameplay looks dated. Whatever they did to the back end to decrease their frame rate to 4 frames a second is awful. Their new stealth gameplay mechanic looks like it was somebody absolutely stoned out of their mind sitting on the toilet and was like, I have this great idea, and then they put it in the game. But as I was saying, like, I hate keep going back to Star Citizen, but Star Citizen is the biggest Kickstarter that has ever let me down, and I invested a lot of money into it, and it sucks that I had to step away. Now, part of that decision was family issues, but the other part of that decision was I was not having fun anymore, and I was not having fun covering it anymore because I keep saying the same, like, you guys have heard me over and over and over and over again bring up the same points about Star Citizen, and none of that has changed. Like, it's 6 months later, it's still the same. A year ago, it's still the same. A year before that, it's still the same. The year before that, it's still the same. So, but yeah, I just, things like this, I don't know how much longer, Star Citizen has left on it before it's just not going to become viable anymore, before the engine isn't going to do what it's supposed to do anymore, before the graphics can't be updated anymore, before, Hello Games or the Verse Project or, Unforgiven Space or, any one of these projects, Starship Simulator, Space Engineers 2, before they catch up and start outpacing what CIG is doing. Am I saying that CIG is terrible at their jobs? No, I'm saying they're mismanaged. They're very poorly mismanaged, and I think the only way any of the stuff that we collectively as backers agree on are bad is if one by one they all leave. And I think, honestly, it starts with Sandy, Aaron, Chris, and Richard Tyre. I think all of them need to go. Like, they all need to leave, and they need to be replaced by, in my opinion, people that actually know how to manage a project, a company, and a creative project. That has to be managed. Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like Battlestar Galactica in some ways. Like, all of this has happened before and will happen again. Like, kind of Star Citizen in a nutshell. I don't see the scale in SC. Lots of games have more scale in SC because scale in the games is measured by complexity, high polished graphics with subpar basic gameplay mechanics. I meant, like, the planets, like, how do I put this? I'm very, very tired. So I'm probably not going to say this right. But for example, the entire planet of Hurston, you could fit multiple Grand Theft Auto 5s in. And that's the kind of scale I'm talking about. Distance scale, the large scale stuff. All right, Jim, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you, man. Really, I do. Maybe that's what I'm not getting out properly, is that the distance scale, the large scale of the planets. But I agree with you. I agree with you. There's not very many complex gameplay mechanics that interact with each other. There's not, the planets are empty. NPCs don't go anywhere and do anything. Like, in my opinion, one thing that could change the way I look at Star Citizen is if I am flying into, say, New Babbage, and there's ships flying all over the place, and not all of them are players. Like, they're NPCs, they're flying, they're landing, maybe even crashing into the side of a mountain, just random things. I think Star Citizen would feel a lot less empty. And even if those ships were just, what do they call those? Like the Boyds, the background things. I think even that would be okay. But all we get is like some streetcars and stuff like that at like Area 18. Same at Hurston. It feels empty. It feels like a ghost town. Everywhere you go, every planet is empty. Every city, for the most part, is empty. With like, there's NPCs that walk around, but they walk around mindlessly. They repeat the same 5 lines. They don't do anything. You can't interact with them. There's nothing. There's no random quest givers. I've brought it up before. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you're running around, Orison, and somebody was like, oh my God, this X thing happened. Go do X thing and bring it back to me. And they, you get a little side quest, right? Same thing with like, I don't know. There's just no complexity to a game that has promised it to be complex. And I think, another reason why I stopped playing Star Citizen is when I first started playing, like, if you died, there was a weight to dying. You lost your gear, you lost your armor, you lost your ammo, you lost your med gun, you lost your med pens, you lost your backpack, you lost your rail gun, you lost all of this stuff. Now, granted, most of that stuff, even the rail guns and the grenade launchers, were way too easy to replace. And I'm not saying that it was the perfect game back then, but at least I lost my stuff. Now you die and you just come right back with everything you lost. And, they said it was supposed to be short term. It's been almost a year. It has been very close to a year. And it's still, sorry if I'm offending you, Pagan. It has become the city of Bobs. Like, it has become some of the worst Bob gameplay I have ever seen. And once again, I hate to see it, but I occasionally will find a Star Citizen VOD or a Star Citizen video of like minor tries FPS for the first time. And I'm, once again, Pagan, I'm not making fun of you. The level of stakes is so low. Or we tried the snake. What's the new snake thing called? The new, not sandworm, worm snake that shoots lasers out of its mouth. There is no there's no stakes. There's no risk. There's no anything. Like, they get shot or they get killed and they're just like, oh, whatever, I'll spawn in my C8R. And they have their gun, their ammo, their med gun, everything. And it's just hop right back out and continue to spray at the worm. But yeah, that's another reason kind of why I left. Planets are tiling. Distance doesn't mean anything in digital space because everything can be scaled on a technical level. GTA 5 has more scale, and SC would not support a GTA 5 city. You're very correct. See, and this is why I say Star Citizen is on a short. They have a short window now to get this game out, and it looking the way it looks right now. Which I'm not saying it looks perfect. I'm just saying it does look good. You know, you're not. I'm not lying to you when I say it looks good when you run it at 1440 and higher. If you can handle that and your graphics card can handle it, it looks good. But they're on a short window. So from my understanding is that when they started developing in CryEngine, one of the main factors of them developing in CryEngine was rendering distance. And the rendering distance, I think it was UE3 was the one. Yeah, it was UE3 that was out at the time they started. They couldn't render a planet that far away. So they used CryEngine where they could push the distances out way further. But now, if I remember correctly, UE5 is either like 88 million kilometers or 288 million kilometers. I think it's somewhere in that space of where, like, visual wise, like, yeah, you can see it. But yeah, you are correct though. But they right now, like I said, Star Citizen is in a very limited window to get a game out and it be the king of the hill before somebody else with UE5 or maybe even UE4 can get another game out that's very similar to that, if not better visually. And UE5, once again, somebody that's more technical than I am and has a better understanding of game engines, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they currently making or already have baked into the engine server meshing? Not dynamic server meshing, but static server meshing. And I mean, let's face it, after 14 years, that's as far as Star Citizen has gotten. And if they come out with it and just it's just a drop in into the engine, that's a huge defeat. And then the render distance, the only thing that UE5 doesn't have, not that Star Citizen has it either, but the sound is not very good. So I'm hoping they fix that. Anyways, let's finish this off. I can feel my eyes burning.
He is, and then he goes into something that's just
that was
he's just
way
he
off
just
tangent.
wrote a fan fiction in his brain about me, and then just posting about it years. Bear in mind, the thing I think he's referencing happened in 2021. It's 4 fucking years later, and this guy is writing a fan fiction about something that didn't happen 4 years ago. Admitting he got all his information third hand from people banned from the community like 8 years ago. Find any statement.
Oh, also, I want to bring this up. So there's a lot of people that think that Star Citizen is going to attempt to sell Star Engine or the modding tools for Star Engine / Lumberyard and all of that. I would like to let you know that is no longer a possibility. Like there is no way that they can sell any of that. And the reason is twofold. One, they do not hold the license. They hold a license to use CryEngine / Lumberyard. They do not hold the license to sell any of it or any of the assets. They do have the ability to sell their models online, like the stuff, like all their ships are created in Blender. For those of you that don't know, they use Blender to create their ships. Now, regarding the tools and the modules that Star Citizen uses, they cannot sell that either. The reason for that is Lumberyard / CryEngine, if my sources are correct, is no longer supported. So the engine itself is no longer supported. So CryEngine is not, Lumberyard is not. So that means they cannot sell those tools out. So even if that was a plan, they cannot any longer. And, you know, once again, I hate to keep doing this, but let's talk about the tools and the engine and all of that. Why would you use CryEngine, a 24-year-old game engine, and tools that were specifically made for that engine when UE5, Unity, all those other ones, they have tools baked in, and most of them work the way they're supposed to work, according to the few people that I know that I've talked to about game development. I am not a game developer, so if I have that wrong, I have that wrong. But, you know, nobody's going to buy CryEngine. Nobody's going to buy Lumberyard. Nobody's going to buy, what do you call it? Those tools from CIG. And like I said, it's no longer supported. It's no longer used, blah, blah, blah.
Of
Anyways,
me saying
let's
I got
finish.
any information third hand from people banned from the community. What he's referring to is years and years ago, people who were at the time current and or former employees of CSE
100% correct.
came to me. I verified their credentials. I knew that they had worked or currently worked for the company, and they told me things. And then I just went and talked about it. And most of the stuff that I was told, I didn't even release because I couldn't nail it down. And then I said, you know, oh, current and or former employees have told me these things. And he somehow is taken from that. I got it third hand from people banned from the community. So what he's done,
I like getting banned
is he's
from
got
subreddits.
a group of people that has some kind of like beef with him. But obviously this just didn't happen. And then, you know, he goes, he's a rage bait artist, even if his broken clock is right twice a day. And he just repeatedly, like a fucking shit AI, keeps saying the same thing. 4 posts about it. Kira has a long history of peddling misinformation about CU and exclusively getting his information from the worst of the community. I don't think I've ever spoken to a member of the Camelot Unchained community regarding information I've then put into a video.
No selling
I don't think
Genesis.
that's ever happened. Like, legitimately, again, it's been 4 fucking years. A lot's happened in my life in 4 years.
What's really crazy is if you want to talk about the weather in Star Citizen, the weather and the cloth movement and stuff like that during storms, they've been talking about adding that into the game since 2016. And just saying.
I don't think this has happened, but apparently this guy has some kind of like black box on stuff that
Okay,
goes.
I can't do this anymore. So I'm going to share this with you guys, but I want to have another conversation real quick before I go. That was Kira. I learned a lot. Here's the thing. I want to know if I'm wrong. Like, I truly want to know if I'm wrong on this. Correct. Like, everybody's going absolutely bananas about Nix and Levski coming next patch. So once again, I'm asking politely. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it only one planet and then Levski? Out of the 4 planets or 5 planets that are supposed to be in Nix, aren't we just getting one planet and Levski next patch? Once again, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, but I'm pretty sure that's how I understand it, is one planet and Levski. Those asteroid bases are not going to be there. The no planets, just Levski. So everybody's going absolutely banana, because I'm seeing it all over YouTube, because I happened to click on a couple of Camerl videos in a row, so now I'm getting Star Citizen stuff back in my feed. All these content creators, oh, we're getting Nix next patch and Genesis and all of that's going to be shown off, and it's like, No, it's not. Like you're getting one planet in Levski, like, and now I'm hearing just Levski. Like, I don't know. And what's funny is Stanton's not finished, Pyro's not finished, but we're gonna get this new system and it's gonna sit. Oh, the Halo and Levski. So it's gonna sit for how long before it gets finished? I see, and this sucks because I didn't want to make this about Star Citizen, but Camelot Unchained kind of made me go into Star Citizen mode because of how shit that is, and it's just so funny how paralleled Camelot Unchained and Star Citizen is. It's absolutely hysterical. You know, Camelot Unchained used money and resources to create a second game to totally drive sales and increase resources. To then now we look at Star Citizen and they created a separate game and blah blah. But anyways, I think that's just absolutely, the parallels and the mirrors are absolutely crazy between the two games. Yeah, I was sort of right. It's just Levski and the Halo. So we're not getting the Genesis show off like everybody's saying. We're not getting even a planet like everybody is saying. We're getting an asteroid base and the glacial, the ice ring. That's it. And Pyro's not done. Stanton's not done. Why? I like, this is why I keep asking, like, I want to know if in the funding things that they show us, you know, you click how much money has been funded this year in Star Citizen, and they give you the years, and then they give you the months, and they show you, they got the colored bars, like how much of that is considered, like, I want to know how much of that is melted ships, because there is no way, in my opinion, there is no way they are making that much money if they're not counting melted ships. To me, that just does not make sense. You know, 300,000 for the new auditorium is what I'm being told. $30,000 for, I think it was two or three of those mannequins. I don't know, like, but and here's the thing, like, if I were to clip this and ask for people's genuine thoughts and put this in a video format, I would get absolutely destroyed, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. You're just misremembering, and all of that. Oh, we know that they cook the books, Diz, because that put option that they have to pay out, I can't remember exactly. It's like $100 to $160 million. That is not listed as a liability when other companies, like every other company in the world, lists that as a liability, but not them. They don't list that as a liability. Hey, Ice. I like, once again, I don't hate the game. I don't hate the devs. It's none of that. Like, I love the game. I think a lot of the devs are good people. They work well. They do good, hard work. I think it's mismanaged. Actually, I know it's mismanaged. And when devs leave, whether it's on good terms or bad terms, all of them say the same thing, is like, hey, 1 week we'll get put on this project and we'll be working on it and we'll be getting pretty far along, or we'll run into a couple of hiccups and, you know, we're trying to work our way around it. And then we get told, hey, drop what you're doing. You're going over here now. And I understand there's ebbs and flows to business and development, and, you know, you have to react quickly to the changes in, you know, market and, you know, game development and things like that. I understand that, but it just seems like that's done far too often for very trivial things, where, like, there's very important things that need to be worked on, like very important features that need to be worked on, and then that's dropped for next week's eye candy that they can sell. But once again, that is opinion. I don't know what they're being told to work on and then what they're told to stop working on for. So, but yeah, I mean, like, legitimately, like, I don't understand the thinking in releasing Levski when Pyro's not done. Stanton's not done. Now can sit here with 100% certain, with 100% certainty that I don't know what still needs to be done in Stanton, but I can say with certainty what needs to be done in Pyro, and those things have never. I have not seen any of those things addressed in an ISC or or an SCL or a CitizenCon. Not once have I seen any of those things addressed. And, you know, I'll just throw one of them out there, the solar flares. Where's the solar flares? Like that would have been game changing in Pyro, but they're not there. Like what happened? You know, I was told 3 years ago that distribution centers were going to have raids, and then I was shown a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, the raids that they had planned for distribution centers, and there's no raids. There's no players gathering over a distribution center to do raids, nor players gathering over a distribution center to guard it from other players. So like I don't know. Like I don't get it. Nukes may be largely another hand-me-down from Squadron 42. I agree. And like what's crazy, like I understand you can't just port one thing from a multiplayer or a single player game into the other. I get that. I understand that. I'm not naive. But once again, I'm asking two very legitimate questions here to the crowd that thinks Squadron 42 is coming out next year. And that is, how is Squadron 42 coming out next year when they're changing the flight model yet again? The flight model's not even out for public testing. It's locked behind a closed door of like 200 players and their NDAs. And Nix is being dumped into. We know Nix is in Squadron 42, so that's being dumped into the PU, but there's no assets to go with it. Like it's just the ice ring and Levski. Like, come on. I hear a lot of people say they play Star Trucker and think it's a really good game. I obviously I have not played it. I'm gonna try to get before I go, let me bring this back up. I've been sitting on this game forever and I've been meaning to play it, and it just, life has been really, really, really unkind to me lately. And let me find it, where'd it go? And I need to redo my joysticks. Here we go. Oh, I gotta move my ugly face. Hold on, guys. Just see me smeared across the screen. There you go. I've been wanting to play this game. It's a flight sim game. Like old school 90s flight sim game.
Altitude. Welcome to the frontier, pilot.
Been wanting to play this for a while.
Exploration is over.
I just haven't.
The war for the frontier has begun.
You know, it's got those old school graphics.
Our goal is not to fight in this war. Rather, we would flee it. To seek a new home among the uncharted world.
I won't bore you with it. It's very similar to like X-Wing and TIE Fighter from the 90s, Wing Commander. But anyways, that and DCS. I want to redo my left stick back into a throttle, and I would like to get into DCS, and I would like to get into this game. I'm being told that it's very hard, and this Frontier's Reach is pretty hard, and I'd like to play it. But as I said, life has just been god awful lately, and I'm hoping that everything's going to start calming down soon, and I can get back to some sort of normalcy and get a little bit more time. As I said, between two channels, making BattleTech content, trying to paint plastic, family, video games, work, there's just not enough time to do it all. I wish there was more time in the day, but there just isn't. There just isn't. I wish there was more time, though. I definitely do. DCS is my vacation therapy. Maybe we need to hook up then. I don't mean hook up. I just mean converse. Maybe we need to converse about DCS. Because I don't know shit about shit. I've flown once. I played the game once for like 2 hours and it was fun, but I died a lot, obviously. Anyways, I need to go. I'm very, very, very tired and I need to get some sleep. I've been up for 29 and a half hours with a 3 hour nap. So 26 hours I've been awake, basically. Anyways, I'm done. You guys have a great night. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for the nerd stuff. Oh, make sure if you haven't, I got to go back to the other screen. I forgot. I gotta do stuff. If you haven't, go check out this channel, please. If you haven't, check out this channel. It's good fun. Blah blah. Lore, nerd. So long. Thanks for all the fish, and you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me.